you just can't breathe. Do you feel your bones start to shake? Do you feel the earthquake? Do you feel your bones start to shake? Do you feel the earthquake? Do you feel your bones start to shake? Do you feel the earthquake? Do you feel your bones start to shake? Do you feel the earthquake?
Hello everyone and welcome back to what is today going to be quite a short stream. I downloaded this game a couple of weeks ago. It's a sinking simulator. It's a sort of like physics based sort of game. But for about 45 minutes to an hour we're going to have a little bit of play and mess around on it. The basic premise of it is, this is just like a white template sort of ship. There's ones with more detail that we'll have a look at in a minute. But basically, we're going to be putting holes in ships and letting physics take over as we watch them fill up with water and slowly break apart and sink into the depths. Now, there isn't any game audio with this one at all because it's just like a sort of like an indie title, I think is what they call it. So I've just stuck the Minecraft music on because I didn't have time to to think of anything else for the background. But I thought we'd give this one a little bit of a go for a little while. You see that slowly filling up. There mustn't be any holes in this part of the ship. Let's just see if we can make a couple. We also can flood compartments as well, so we can fill those with water. Eventually, I'll say this is just like this is a low res template, but we'll move on to doing the proper ships though in a second. So also I'm trying to find the ship we're looking for. What's everyone else been up to today? Hello Creeper, you just joining us there for the start. Let's hop that in there. So can you recognise the ship that we are going to sink? This is the Titanic. This is pretty much, well, I did have a rummage through today to see if there was any good ships in the like the people have made online, but unfortunately none of them are particularly good. This Titanic one is pretty much the best model to mess around with. Yep, royalty. History is about to repeat itself. We have, like, this is the exterior of the ship. Some of them have this interior as well. It's all sort of like, I said, it's all sort of just pixel art. It's just a a very, very basic interface. It's more for the fun of seeing how the physics take over. So we can make a hole in the ship and watch it go down in different ways. What's that? Oh, are you on the server at the minute? Are you? I did that. When I did that 5.5 hours AFK fishing, there was not one mending book that we got in that entire 5.5 hours. It was it's absolutely ridiculous. Better off. You're in a village, aren't you? Where your base is. You could always grab a villager and swap his trades out, and see if you can make a mending village. That's probably the best bet for getting mending books, because it just seems like it just seems like near impossible to get decent books with the AFK fishing. Or did you kill them all off? Well, I suppose there's hundreds of villages dotted around there. We just have to bring one over and bury him in the ground next to you. But what we'll do now is we'll quick rummage around this ship. So you can see here, various cargo bays and such. These will be the big engines, I would imagine, the coal stores. And maybe that's the actual motor itself. I'm not sure. If I'm being a pixel art, it does have like quite a bit of detail. But was it round about here-ish, maybe, where the hole started? So let's crack this open and see what happens. Oh, hang on. We're not using the right tool. Let's put a big hole in and we can watch the Titanic slowly go down. I did have about hours worth of experimenting with this, because there is settings for changing like the physics and the water flow, but it's an absolute nightmare. I found there was no consistency in these settings. It seems to be stable at the minute because I did like a quick trial run for 10 minutes before the stream. So I think I've got everything sort of configured down. Now I said that there is no game audio in this either, so it's just a case of like I said, I've chucked the background that I use for the Minecraft videos in there. Oh, what's that there, Creeper? Oh, you switch to your PC as your phone's not playing. Actually, I'm just thinking about it. I think I actually need to update the Twitch app on my phone. I got like some notifications today because I haven't bothered to update hardly any of the apps on my phone this week. Let's see here. It doesn't seem to be flowing fast enough, I don't think, because it's only slowly filling up in here. Well, maybe just put another little hole in the stairwell. Perhaps might help things along a little bit, shall we say? This game, I'll say as well, Sinking Simulator is free on the Steam store. Apparently it's a sequel to another version that wasn't finished. So this is probably more the finished, or closer to finished one. We're not having much luck here in sinking the Titanic. It all seems to be holding up pretty steady. Where else should we put a hole? Maybe this will be where the anchor's stored. We'll put a hole underneath the hull. That might help the weight along a little bit. As you can see there, the water is slowly filling these pixel lines here, going through there. And if we can just push that to the tipping point, we can get it to go under. Or at least start to go under and break apart. There is some sort of like this mast here, and I think it's to do with the way the physics are calculated, just go a little bit floppy, and depending on how I adjust the performance settings up here, it goes absolutely nuts. But adjust that enough and the whole bus disintegrates like something out of the Avengers. Let's put another little hole in the front there. Slowly get this one to go down, see how far it breaks apart. Because that's filling up the the what's it called chamber, the where the anchor is like spooled, the chain. So far the Titanic is holding up pretty much alright. The watertight compartments are obviously working. I know there's supposed to be must be somewhere around here-ish, because there was a coal fire, wasn't there, that was before they even left dock, and it was just left there, like left smouldering in the coal stores, wasn't it? Which like weakened the metal further. See, the stairwell hasn't filled up at all yet. Are these ones moving? Let's zoom out a little bit. So the undersection of the hull here is slowly filling up to balance that out. Where should we put a fresh hole to help this along? This cargo bay is actually surprisingly dry. But I don't think we're getting any more water coming in. It's actually staying afloat. Alright. Let's pop a hole in this cargo hole and see what happens. So that one's filling up. Yeah, it's breaching to the second level. Let's see if that's enough weight to break the ship. It is tipping down overall. So, you've got a mini replica. Back in Tynemouth, like growing up, where I grew up, I had do you know the 3D puzzles? I had one of those, the Titanic, that I used to have. I used to like have it on top of the telly. But hang on, I was back in here. I took the pieces out of the front section of the hull to make it look like it hit the iceberg because there were sections missing. Hello Focus, we're playing Sinking Simulator today, well, at least for an hour anyway. I think I might have some pictures somewhere in the archives, but that'll be buried deep on one of my file servers. It's starting to get deeper now, isn't it? Let's zoom out and see how far. You see that's almost out of the water now. It's slowly tipping. really we're just waiting. Once these engine bays fill, that'll be it. And hopefully then there'll be enough weight to crack the hull. When I was testing this morning, I was able to put holes in the perfect spots near the front, and it actually snapped the way that the actual shipwreck is snapped, but I didn't make a note of where I made those holes. It's slowly filling up, so the undersection here is almost full. Got to be very careful, because if I accidentally click the mouse, I'll end up putting a huge hole somewhere where we don't want one. Because we want the physics to take over and do it. I know we've held it along a couple of little bits here because it went completely stationary. I suppose we could have, rather than putting the holes, we could have maybe added a little bit more water, because we can flood sections. Let's flood this chamber at the front here, rather than put a hole in the boat. Add a little bit in there. You can see it. I don't know if it's coming through on the stream alright, but I can sort of see it slightly tipping. It's this watertight door here that we need to get the water over, because then it'll probably breach into the engine compartment. This is zooming right in, because you can see sort of like structural stress as it slowly, the weight is like snapping the vessel in half. The propeller's quite out there. Let's add a little bit more water. Because I think in reality it would probably be past the hole for the anchor at this stage, wouldn't it? So let's just imagine that this is where the anchor comes out. And top it up a smidge more. Oh, hang on, the engine compartment's starting to get water now. That'll be game over once that starts to properly fill. A little bit more water in the front. Yeah, you can see where it's coming in, like over the coal store. Yeah, just top this little chamber up a little bit more weight in the front there. I am, of course, still full of flu from the hay fever. I haven't been sneezing as much as what I was last night. So how's everyone else been doing in the chat today? How many points is everyone up to so far as well? Oh, sorry, eggs. How many eggs has everyone collected? Just be waiting for the next viewing of the presentation. One and a half thousand royalty. It's actually going up. You can see it spraying in the water. Back up to 5.7. Now, are you saving up for that, or are you saving up for the card? Slowly topping up this engine. I think once there's enough weight in there, it must pull. It must be going to pull the ship under. Yeah, well, if you pick a game and I actually have the game, then yeah, I'll definitely play. I know you were sort of like hinting at Farming Simulator yesterday. I have a 360 version of the Farming Simulator, and I also have, I want to say, is it 2015 for the Xbox One. So I could definitely play that. I'm still missing one Xbox achievement on that last farming simulator. That's like drive 1 million like real miles or something, like in your truck. That's the only one I've still got left to do. But if you want to do something like that, then yeah, we can definitely play that. We'll start a brand new world, and we can play that one for a couple of hours because it's a very relaxing game. Oh, I'm just looking here. The second engine compartment's starting to fill. Let's see if there's any. It doesn't look like the tail end's getting any further out. Is there any sort of structural stress marks or anything like that? Anywhere where it might break apart? Oh, that's under now. That's a good sign. Slowly filling up here. We'll do like a few of these, but we'll make like the next ones a little bit faster. At the minute, we just put like a chunk out of the hull here, and we had to put these 3 little dots in, just because it came to a complete standstill. Oh, I'm just checking on my screen here. Welcome to all the extra people that are starting to join us here. We're playing Sinking Simulator. We're just doing a little short playthrough because there's not like too much. We're just like messing around. This is sort of like a physics-based game. Pop a hole in the ship and basically let the physics of the water flow take over to fill the ship up. Put enough weight in it to crack it in half where necessary. In a minute, we're watching a cross-section of the Titanic as it slowly goes under. It does take quite a long time to sink this ship, which is probably why, in reality, I suppose the ship took a long time to sink, I suppose, as well. But as well, for those of you that are joining us, don't forget to check out my Discord channel. Just press the lag button there. I assume that it's coming through all right there. Starting to go under a bit faster now. Let's have a look at the oh, that's nearly completely lifted out, isn't it? Doesn't look like there's any of those funny little cross-fracture-y things that the game puts on. But it is getting visibly faster, I think, as it's going down. If you're watching this little bit here. The engine compartments are slowly starting to even out with one another until eventually they fill up. I suppose that's the water line running across there, is it? Slowly going under. So I'm waiting to see as well, we might get a fracture across the ship maybe, if we're lucky. There is also within this game, there is modes to actually make your own ship, but I haven't had the chance to study that, to see how you actually make them. I've not heard of that. Not heard of that game. Is that on Xbox or is it on Steam? Oh, hang on, I'm too busy looking at the chat. We've missed the hull has cracked. Oh, and we've got the I'll have to have a look. If you remind us after the stream, I'll go on to Steam and have a look. There we go. She's breaking apart. Heading to the ocean floor. So at the moment, this watertight hull is keeping this forward section afloat because it can't. The water's not breaching past that line. Let's just see. Slowly making its way to the bottom of the ocean. and all these compartments here are still dry. That's why it's starting to tip up as high as it is. Almost there. Gonna go crunch. There, the ship breaking up as it hits the ocean floor. That's the thing with this. The smokestacks just seem to disintegrate into these funny pixel nothings, but I can't find the right balance of the physics and the water flow. Because if you adjust it too far, just instantly the entire ship just disintegrates into dust. Basically, it's been snapped like in Avengers. These engine compartments are doing quite well. In fact, is that resting on the ocean floor? Oh, it's slowly disintegrating as it gets eaten up by the ocean floor. See these sections, it's like slowly filling up these as it goes. How's this forward section, the rear section doing? It's just bobbing there. So anyone that's in this side is alright at the minute. Slowly going in. At the restaurants in the middle there. So you can see there the hull as it's compacting with the ground. The hull is further cracking and breaking apart. You can see these little cracks forming. I mean, even though it is, visibly, just basically pixel art, but I do like it with these sort of like basic physics sort of experiments, really. Oh, that's starting to twist a bit fast, isn't it? Let's have a quick scan up. Oh, of course, because that bit of the hull there's snapped off completely, hasn't it? So it's, yeah. Should we help the aft section along a little bit? You decide. Should help it by flooding or poking holes in it. Yeah, royalty. It is just one of those oddly satisfying things, isn't it? More holes, says Chrissy. We will place one hole, perhaps, in the cargo bay next to the car and see what happens. Because, to be honest, once that tips over there, it'll start to fill up that, and then it just has to get over this watertight door, really, doesn't it? Let's just check on the forward section. That's still dropping. Yeah, it's slowly bobbing down. Once this section here gets over the water there, that will fill in and that weight will pull it down. Well, what we'll do is because obviously we're just doing like one run at the minute, but we'll reload it once it's sunk, and we can pepper it with holes everywhere that you want, royalty. Oh, let's see, there you go. Now it's tipped over there. This section here is filling up. There's a lot of spray coming into this engine compartment here, as you can see, just coming up there. Once that tips over there, and it can fill these corridors. See there now, it's water starting to tip in there. It's descending more rapidly. Going into the depths. Let's zoom out with the carnage. At least you'll be able to find it because it's not that deep. See, it's almost done for the forward section. Yeah, looks like there's some more sections of the hull cracking. This engine bay still has to fill. Because that had a hole in it, it would probably go down a lot faster. But considering how fast it's going down anyway, I think we're covered. There we go. I think that's pretty much under. See the stacks there are all away, disintegrated. So that one little hole there was still not enough, because this watertight compartment here is still enough to keep it afloat. I think if we put a hole here though, that will finish it off. Assuming that that isn't a watertight compartment ceiling. So we need to bring this corridor underwater. There it goes. Starting to fill up. Let's check on the forward section. Oh, it's really disintegrated now, isn't it? It's got just a little bit intact. All the little bits of debris floating down after it. And that looks like it's almost ready to tip over the because that'll be where that watertight section there is. Yep, still on the tip over here now, and these two are starting to connect. I wonder if it'll go like tip up straight, like what I did in the movie. One thing with that movie, I remember we had an English teacher in high school, and every opportunity she had, she put that film on in the, it's like a 3-hour film and a 1-hour lesson. How many times we had to watch the first hour of that movie? It's unbelievable. Don't suppose anyone's seen A Night to Remember? Just thinking of Titanic, an old black and white movie of the sinking of the Titanic. But put it this way, Chrissy, you didn't miss anything. Starting to go a little bit faster now. These sections here haven't really taken on too much water yet. Although in reality, I think those glass windows would have been away. Not to mention the doors that were that would have been along these. We can actually, let's just for a few seconds. That's like the exterior shot, but I think it's more fun having the interior. So you can see the rooms as they're filling up. There we go. It's starting to tip higher. Picking up speed. Oh, let's just have a look at the debris there. It's getting it's really sort of like out now, isn't it? Impact the ocean floor now. I don't think this compartment here has actually got any water in it. I can't quite tell from the dark colour of whatever that's supposed to represent. There we go, that's that section of the hull now starting to smash apart. It must be completely under just about. Yeah, it's going right up, isn't it? I wonder how accurate what we've just done there is, apart from obviously the way that it broke up on down here, to the actual way that it maybe went down in reality. tipping right up, isn't it? Scroll down here. So the weight of the hull pressing down all of this. Yeah, gonna jump. This bit here, you're gonna jump off there. Royalty. That's one thing that would have been funny if they had it on the model, if they had them standing. You know, if they had like a little picture of them on the end. Is that going to go down any further? I'm not seeing any more movement. I think the boat is stationary now. It's like wedged itself with its weight. Let's help it along a little bit. Let's pop a hole in this joint. That should drag the rear section down. Hopefully it might get enough weight. I think that's over here in this debris over here, isn't it, somewhere? The door that they both could have fit on. Yeah, Chrissy, stay at the back of the ship. Especially when I'm poking holes in it. We can simulate that. We'll make some bigger holes. We'll put some holes in the rear of the ship. And see how that would have affected it. There you go, starting to twist a little bit more now. Only a matter of time over before it cracks the hole maybe it's across here. Because there's not, well, it would have gone completely down, but obviously this is where the ocean floor is in the game. What's that? Well, yeah, when you get in the lifeboat, stay on the lifeboat. Yep. There it goes. It's picking up speed now. Oh, look! You can see the hull all breaking apart now. The stresses on the old steel. Almost under. Yep, unsinkable. 10 minutes later, sunk. Yep, Chrissy, definitely. There's that twisting and see if the hull's... Yeah, you can just make out, at least I can on the eye, I assume it's coming through on your end, that you can just see it. But probably if the, because I mean, it was quite a few of the sections that were torn apart, wasn't it, like that were ripped open by the iceberg, or at least what they say. But the coal fire that weakened the steel as well wasn't a help. There's even some photos where you can see the like the discoloration on the hull, like the fire that's burning in the coal store. It's the last bit to go down now. Oh yeah, that it was what was the other ship? Was it the Olympic? Did they reckon they changed the names over? The two ships were identical, weren't they? Even like down to their you know, the decoration for the guests, like areas and what have you. Was it the Olympic? Somebody have to Google that. What was the Titanic sister ship? I could just be thinking. I'm thinking of Olympic Carrier, which was in Battlestar Galactica. Almost under. The last thing to go, flag. There it goes. Alright, so yeah, I was sort of like thinking of Olympic then. Yeah, it wasn't just me getting myself mixed up with Battlestar Galactica. And the Britannic, was that an exact model as well? There we go. The Titanic is now completely submerged, and that will slowly make its way down to the ocean floor. Let's just scan across the debris here. The vessel broken up. Click back on the ship's menu. I did test some of these, but they're absolutely. Oh, does anyone want to see the defective dolphin and see how quickly that one sinks? Let's put the defective dolphin in the water. And would it stand in the ocean when it hits the bottom? Alrighty, so is the theory then, is that why they say that it was actually the other ship? Because it was an improved, newer model. So is that how the conspiracy theory goes? Is it that it was the other ship that went down because it was the older one, and the new one that has improvements is just because it's new? There we go. The defective dolphin is broken apart on the ocean floor. I can see it next after the stream. I'll be googling it all night now, won't I? I'll be queuing up documentaries on YouTube. Just like grabbing a few random ships. We'll get back down the list to the Titanic shortly, because like I said, the other models like this, they're not particularly good. Some of them as well. I mean, some of the ships, there's just no detail in them because they're so small. Yeah, that one there looks like it's going to sink straight off the bat anyway. yeah, the only one in this game worth playing is the Titanic model. There's a Steve in a boat. But most of these aren't actual ships, they're just straight up basic pixels. Or did they turn it into a hospital ship during the war? I suppose ships like that, they would have probably commandeered to convert quite a few of them as well, I suppose, because it's 1912 when the Titanic went down, wasn't it? So it's 14 to 18, wasn't it, for the First World War? So yeah, especially for like transporting equipment across the channel. Not only has it sank, Chrissy, but it's also broken apart. Can you remember in the older versions of Minecraft where if you so much as nudged the ship wrong, it just got destroyed? See, what have we got here? There's a big ship. See, the problem with most of these is there's no interiors. Let's just put a big stripe here and see how quickly it goes. Let's just help this one along a bit further, shall we? That's a problem with there isn't enough boats with actual detail. Most of them are all just these like really, really tiny, simple ones. Yeah, going through the swamps for the lily pads and what have you, you might as well just get out and walk. back when the boats exploded every time you touched them. I remember in my first creative world, like when I first played Java Minecraft years ago, I made a little island that was supposed to be like, you know, the Bioshock island, where you would go in and get dropped down into the underwater city. I could probably show you a few minutes if I can figure out which one of the files it is, like which one of the worlds, because I haven't been up for a long time. Looks nothing like it, but but yeah, you drop down into. I was building like an underwater city, but never finished it in that world. I suppose like having wear and tear on the boat, maybe it depends how far you're going. I suppose if it's wear and tear of impacting things, fair enough. But just like generally travelling across the ocean. Let's have a look at this boat here. So what I'll do is I'll use this boat here to illustrate the weirdness. Right, so we've got that physics and water both at 50. If I just crank this up. See, the boat just disintegrates. Managed to snap on the boat. It's quite interesting watching it break apart. Ooh, it's going all trippy now. Right, let's lower that back to 50. Actually, I have to bring it into this side of the screen so I can lower it back to 50. Yep, there goes the boat. Right, let's put that back to 50 and we will re-find this version of the Titanic. Yeah, I will too. It's acid the boats are in. It would explain how quickly it dissolved like that. Let's bring that back to the physics screen. Oh no, it's this button here. What is it? Interior. Right, so where shall we put the holes to do it in a more speedy way? Should we put a few holes in the back and see what happens if it twists over? But we'll make some larger holes so that we're not waiting, because it took 38 minutes for us to actually sink it the first time there. So we'll speed it along with the rear sections and see what difference that makes. It's actually bending quite fast, that, isn't it? Right, slowing down now. It's flexing a bit though, isn't it? So we're going to make this hole, the brush, a little bit smaller. And we'll maybe flood a few more of the rear bays. In fact, no, we'll flood this bay. A few more holes in. Just trying to see what the difference is going to be on the forward section. There we go, that should fill up that engine bay. But we'll see, Chrissy, if how much weight we get in the rear section. It may snap because there is like a curve that's slightly visible across here. Let's just put a few holes in this because these must be watertight sections. But we'll try and speed it along. Ooh, that's tipping quite fast now, isn't it? Look at the look up there. It's out of the water. I never shut the window, did I? Let's fill out of a compartment. No, but see, once again, it's holding quite steady. Let's put a few more little pinpricks in it here and there, shall we say. We could also use flooding, but flooding seems to take longer. But we're just trying to do an experiment, I suppose, just to see what happens here. Then we could always load it again and make an actual proper full break through the middle just for Chrissy. Right, I'm going to flood these under sections here. That might help draw it down a bit. See, the water will slowly creep up there. So I'm trying to avoid this section here because I'm trying to get, I don't want to put like too much because that weight might help balance it back maybe. As if we're trying to go for a snap. Oh, looks like it's pulling up quite a bit there now, isn't it? Yeah, this is underneath here. I think we might be in for a snack. That's what I reckon. A, if you think it's going to snap here, or B, if you think it's going to snap here, or C, if you think it's going to snap somewhere else. A, B, or C. You're going for B, Chrissy. And Royalty's going for C, for somewhere potentially else. I mean, it could snap along here like Royalty. Once that's out of the water, there's a lot of pressure on the hull that could just tear apart. Where can we risk putting in an extra pinhole? Because it seems to have slowed down. Now this compartment's starting to fill with water now, so since water's in there now anyway, we'll help it along. And we'll just let it flood since it's already flooding, just to speed up that section. Just thinking whilst that's flooding there, because you after the mending books, Chrissy, have you? I don't suppose you found any wandering idiots, because I just updated the data pack today with a whole set of new trades. Because you can get mending books from him if you manage to find the one that's got the right trade. I'm trying to remember what it is. It's like a couple of books and something else. I can't remember what the rest of the trade is. I have to have a rummage around. I can always check. Actually, I've still got Excel open down here. This is how I do like my live stream descriptions and all that. It's all automated. But if I go to the Wandering Idiot data pack just whilst it's syncing, I'll put that up there. We will see if we can find. Should be below the black line. Mending. Mending. 6 books and 1 bookshelf. If you can find a Wandering Idiot that has that, that's the trade. But there's also potion trades in there as well, if you can find them. Also put the most important one was the end portal frames. But it's very expensive. But you do get 50,000 XP points, not levels, but points, if you do manage to make that trade. So far, well, these sections here are filling up. But the hull has not snapped yet. This is halfway to the ocean floor. Oh, look at that. Oh, there it goes. So that was A. No one had A for where the hull was going to break. And so the aft section is now completely submerged. There's a couple of air pockets left. And this one here, let's just help that along a bit. And there it goes, they're all filling up quickly. So what we'll do now is we'll reset the Titanic, pop it in the water, and we will try Chrissy's, breaking it straight down the middle, and then seeing how both sections cope. There we go. Titanic is now snapped in two. They're both tipping into where the water's spilling in. Surprisingly, they're with the watertight bulkheads. Also, you're going with this section here to be underwater first, Royalty. Yep. See that there's on this side here, it's only a small bit of the watertight like bulkhead that's holding it up, whereas this one had a lot of extra space to fill, didn't it? I'll say that both sections seem to have stabilised. There we go. If the Titanic had had a clean break in half, it would have been perfectly serviceable today. Pretty much, Royalty, yeah. It almost looks like it's it almost looks like it's all joining back together, doesn't it? The bit that I took out in the middle, it's now moved forward. Just a bit of sticky tape down the middle, or you know, the liquid nail. Polish it out, it'll be fine. So these under sections on the hull as well have been filled with water just about, but it's not enough to pull it down. Now, if we help it along, we have to help both sides along in like mirrored fashion. Yep. If in doubt, gaffer tape. But when I used to work for the travel lodge, when I was at university, they used liquid nail to fix everything. Because I used to take the mick saying that if you were to remove like everything else from the hotel, you know, if you were to remove the, you know, the bricks, the beds, the wood, the carpets, if it was all just like to be vanished out in like one go, remove everything apart from the liquid nail, that there would be an outline of every room. Would be like a frame of like every room and every wall, corridor, because the whole place was held together by liquid nail. Yeah, because it's if you've got something that's moving that shouldn't be, it's gaffer tape, and if you've got something that that's not moving but should be, WD-40. In my camera kit, like for when I'm setting up, I have like the little tin of WD-40, but I took a section of gaffer tape and spooled it around the outside of the tin, so that I've got a always got like both on hand. But we're gonna have to help this. I'm gonna put a hole in there and a hole in there, and see if that weight tips the difference to pull the vessels under. Yep, they're really starting to tip now. Still more weight still in the aft section. Yep, come on there, left for royalty. There is still some slight movement in the water. See, the thing is, if I breach another section, this section here is a lot wider than the section that we have here, so it wouldn't be a balanced drop. Where's going to be the best place to? And this section's starting to fill up now, and these bulkheads here are quite keeping it nicely. Just thinking, we're destroying ships and sinking ships, and the background music that I use for Minecraft that's playing is a nice little sort of like happy, calm tune, and we're sinking ships. Yeah, I think the left is going to win it though. You see the water's like spraying in here. I'll show you well just whilst this is doing it, because I've got the water physics turned to 50. If we turn that down, it gets really weird. Oh no, I can't turn that water down less than... Alright, I can't change that then in a minute, because you can't turn that less than what the... Oh no, I was using the wrong one. See how weird the water goes? It's being calculated differently. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're killing thousands of people with our physics experiment tonight. Oh, the forward section is picking up a little bit more speed, but this one has this huge area here to fill. So the aft section is just ahead, really. Yeah, right. Like battleships, where the little mouse cursor thing here. This is the pegs that I'm putting through the side of the hull. You see here the mast really bent back. Surprised there's no more. There might be some like cracking along the hull. We could probably do something daft like that on stream. I do actually want to do some board games on stream. I just can't quite decide how to set the cameras up. Yeah, every guess is a hit, and every guess is precision calculated as to where we're going to put a hole through it. It's really tipping there, though, isn't it? Just zoom right out in the ocean. Slowly filling up this here. Which board games do you like to play? Then Royalty, which are your favourites? Apart from like board games as well, I quite like some of the RPGs as well. Tabletop games, I suppose it comes under. Oh, here we go. The forward section is starting to beat. The classics Monopoly and Cluedo. I've got a travel version of Cluedo somewhere in a box in the next room, and I've got a Star Wars Monopoly set I think somewhere in the cupboard as well. Oh, there we go. It's starting to. It looks like the forward section is going to take the win. Royalty. Really tipping. Let's just see if I can line that up. It's one good thing about doing the ultra wide. Because remember, Royalty, if you lose, you've got to make the tea for the rest of the week. Oh, look, there goes one of the stacks. There's still time. The rear section may catch up because the forward section is slowing down a bit. Yeah, it's got to be a proper brew. We've got it down to a fine art. Like I said, when I do mine, it's boiling water into the teapot, but it has to be at the point that the kettle flicks off, so that I also sort of like think of the physics behind it, which is why I like games like this. It's when the molecules are at their most volatile, so maximum collisions on the tea bag, so it diffuses it faster. Stir it, leave it for 7 minutes, stir it again, then it should be ready to pour. Yep, that forward section is definitely going to win. I think we'll do it like which one touches the bottom first, or do you want to do it for the entire ship going under? Well, the milk goes into the cup first, but you make the tea in the teapot, and then when it's ready, you then pour, the contents of the teapot into the cup, which already contains the milk. That's the proper way of doing it. I'm gonna try at some point because you got the idea in my head the other day, royalty, for recording the video for YouTube. Of course, the milk goes in the teep in the cup first, but not Neanderthals. Sorry, the cup first, rather. Oh look, the hull's broke there on the forward section. The mast might break apart as well, looking at that. Yeah, there's the mast hitting the water. You're gonna cry, royalty. But here, have a look at a nice soothing picture of a chicken to calm you down. This is the slideshow that I prepared if anyone had redeemed the chicken thing tonight. Oh, you got to have a biscuit with your cup of tea. I dip everything in me cup of tea. Biscuit, bit of chocolate. I won't actually have any like a chocolate bar or something like that, or a bit of one anyway on its own. You've got to have so you can dip your tea in it, or dip it in your tea rather. I think it's fairly safe to say that the forward section, I believe, is won. The rear section, though, is picking up pace. We'll have to see whether or not this section here goes down in time. Do you want us to slice this section here off, royalty, where I waved the mouse? Or a bit lower? Higher or lower? Oh, this section here is filled with water. Lower. Oh, I don't need to, it's broken apart itself in the time that we were typing. But I'll put an extra hole in for you. That's completely submerged, but it hasn't hit the ground yet. It looks like the rear section is doing the exact same things it did before. It's going to tip up. So the rear section has still got... still going to be floating. So no matter which way we try to trash this boat, it's still the rear section still goes down last. See if we help it along a little bit. Put a little hole in there. The forward section's almost coming down to a flat. Yeah, Chrissy, it's the flag has to be the last thing to go under. It's how physics work. Yeah, waving on its own royalty, the last thing to go under. Should we cut it off? It's like, I can cut the hole just there if you want. Cut it, royalty. There we go. Still the last thing to go down. Let's just hack the mast up whilst we're at it. Still the mast though, I suppose. Let's just... if the mast is going to go down at all. Yeah, right, Chrissy. Yeah, the flag's flying. It's flapping in the wind to keep the rear section above the water. So, Creeper, going for a wander. When I used to work night shift, I used to go out in the middle of the night just to best time to go to the shop, so out with my cameras to do star photography, because I was awake anyway, because I used to mainly work night shift. But there we have it, everyone. For the third time tonight, the Titanic has sunk. So I hope you've enjoyed having a little look at this one here. I had only planned to stream for about 45 minutes, but we've been at it for an hour and 20. Rotate. It's always nice and peaceful when you're out at night. For a wander, it's always like just so still and quiet. I've got, when I used to like go out with that and I'd take like my camera gear and what have you. I've got a torch. It's a TM26. It's a like ridiculously super powered torch. It can, like, when you're walking, it can just light up an entire valley with its beam. So if you ever encountered anyone that looked a bit dodgy, I know I could always flash that in their face in the middle of the night. Yeah, if you get like some weirdo following behind you there, Chrissy, yeah. I was always worried, like when I was out with my camera gear a lot, because like when I lived in Tynemouth and I was taking pictures one night of the the lighthouse, and it was about 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm photographing the lighthouse, and a car just pulls up behind us. So I threw my camera in the back of the car, because I was working out in the back of the car with the camera gear, and I've got a big metal tripod, so I held that like in my hand just in case anyone he was trying to like attack us and rob us. Turned out it was a taxi driver. He just wanted to know if I was photographing like a particular star formation or something that might have been only visible that night. Yeah, Chrissy, yeah, do you speed up or slow down? Oh, you think that they were going to sort of like reverse up like to grab you or something like that? Yeah. Try to highly recommend like I said, the torch I've got. At the very least, it's a good solid metal body on it. Is that or either that or across the road, Chrissy? Oh, well, alright, it's alright when it turns out to be somebody that you work with. There was actually, going back to like when I was at university, worked at the Travel Lodge. I was leaving one night, and I was just driving back through like the quiet back roads to avoid the motorway, and I saw one of my work colleagues he was just like walking back from the shops. So it was only like a 2-minute detour, so I pulled up. It looked dodgy as out, like me pulled up by the side of the road, saying like to Mark, does he want to lift back to his house? Aye, just in case, yeah. Let's just drop the Titanic from the sky whilst we're chatting. Anyway, as I was saying, I hope you enjoyed this one. It was just a bit of a weird one. I thought I'd throw it in there just for just to have a little bit of a play. This is the Titanic dropping from a great height, as you can see here. We'll end the stream on it hitting the water and see how it disintegrates quickly. We'll keep it on the exterior camera as it goes down. But as I hope you enjoyed this one. Tomorrow night we're starting a brand new game. I think Chrissy, were you asking about this one? They said that you were. I can't remember if it was yourself or somebody else that was looking forward to the Jurassic World game. So I hope that you can all make it for that one, because I will be wanting all of you guys' input for how we're going to build our park, and and what we're going to name all the dinosaurs. Because I'll be leaving all that those sort of decisions up to you as we play. Right, here it goes. It's going to hit the water. Oh yeah, it didn't survive that, did it? Royalty, Gerald, is that what we're going to name the first dinosaur tomorrow? You have to remind us tomorrow. So the first dinosaur that we produce on the park. You can also name the buildings and stuff like that as well. Because I hopped on this afternoon for like 10 minutes just to like give it a go. What's that there? Have enough eggs for 6 saved up. You can use the eggs, but be honest, the way we're going through it, I'll probably just be asking us for the names as we go anyway. So you'll be able to keep saving your eggs up for the chicken slideshows. I'll give Royalty a little preview. This is the next one here. Yeah, had it pre-ready just in case you redeemed it today, but we'll save that for redeeming tomorrow. But as I hope you enjoyed that there. Don't forget to rate, comment, favourite and subscribe. I hope you all have a good night as well. And before I go as well, if you throw me a quick message in Discord, Chrissy, for that game that you mentioned at the start of the stream, because I can't remember what it was. But if you chuck us in the Discord, I'll look it up on Steam and we'll have a look. Should we see if anyone is? Oh, I've got the wrong window open here. I'll just see if if Cubfine or anything's streaming, because then you get your extra like 200 points or something like that, don't you? Yeah, extra 200 bonus eggs if he is. Oh no, Sweet Anita's on. We'll hop into hers. And then, as I say, you get your extra points when Twitch eventually loads. Really, it's probably because I'm streaming at the same time, like. Right, so you click that. And then I click that. And then I press the start button. Alright then, so that's on its way through, I think. Yeah. So have a good night, folks, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you for joining me today. If you are enjoying our journey and would like to see more, then please rate, comment, favourite and subscribe in whichever manner your chosen platform allows. If you are joining us on Twitch, Mixer or YouTube, where we have loads more for you to watch, from our live streams to all our episodes across our various series. You can also drop by and say hi over on Discord, where we chat about everything from Minecraft to books and movies to tabletop games. But most importantly, thank you very much for watching and have a lovely day.